How are you, everybody? Today I want to talk about what's going on, not in Palestine, but outside of Palestine, in particularly, let's say, New York City, and the movement to bring awareness to what's going on to the Palestinian people and Palestine, in the land of Palestine. I have been part of some rallies in the past, prior to this particular time, where I have rallied and protested for the recognition of Palestine and for the injustices going on against the Palestinian people. What I see this time around is I have not yet went to any rallies, but what I've seen is that the Palestinian movement is being infiltrated by groups and taking them in a different direction with violence and destruction. Let's give an example. What happened yesterday in Brooklyn or yesterday or the day before in Brooklyn and in the Bronx, in New York City, where people were waving Palestinian flags and going into stores and bodegas, whatever it is, and telling people, join the protest. And if they said no, they'll destroy their stores. And they went store by store. At some point, eventually, they got all the way to the Bronx, and they started running around screaming, "Free, free Palestine," smoking marijuana. And we know in the Palestinian community, I don't know about any other community, smoking marijuana is not an acceptable thing to do. And these groups that are infiltrating the Palestinian movement are not Palestinians, nor do they care about Palestine. I want you to take a look at the groups before you join the groups, before you encourage these people to come and join the Palestinian movement. What do they support? Do they have values that equal our values? Palestinian values is family values, mothers and fathers, being raised by two people, married to a man, married to a woman, different sex marrying one another. You got to ask these questions. Don't be running around asking for people to join your group, movement, and then they're going to come ask you to support their agenda. How are you going to respond to that? They're going to expect you to join their movement. You understand? They're going to expect you to join the movement. Would you accept that for yourself? People could do whatever they want to do. And as Palestinians, as Muslims, which we are, and some of our Palestinians are Christians. Muslims believe in the Quran, Christians believe in the Bible. And in these Bible and in the Quran, guess what? A man marries a woman and a woman marries a man. And that's what we believe in. In addition, all the protests that I've been on, not one time have I seen people in the rallies smoking marijuana and blowing in cops' faces. Not one time have I seen protesters shoving cops, getting cops' faces. Okay? There's a bigger agenda in this. Bigger agenda to distract us, to distract the movement. The Palestinian cause is being heard. And we're hearing it now. People are listening. And the people that want to distract this movement understand that, and they're sending the agitators. They're sending the agitators to interrupt our movement, to interrupt human rights for Palestine, Palestinian recognition. Telling Palestinians in Palestine, don't worry, we're coming for you. And they know this. More and more now, politicians are openly condemning Israel, openly. And it's not anti-Semitic to condemn Israel. Israel is a country. It's not a nationality. It's not a Jewish thing. Has nothing to do with Judaism. Well, I've been to Israel. I've been to Palestine. Nobody's talking about Judaism there. Nobody. All they're doing is talking, going around fornicating and doing what they're going to do. They're doing the same thing. They're not talking about religion, the Torah. There are Jewish people in America and in the world that say that the Torah says to them that Israel shouldn't even be a country right now. And they march for the Palestinian cause. And if you speak to them, they will tell you that their grandfathers had meals with my grandfather in Palestine. This is what's going on, and it's going on today. That there has to be a collective mentality. We have to be smarter. Don't just join a movement because people are screaming loud and they have somebody hearing them. Don't just join a movement because people are saying free, free Palestine. That's not good enough. You want to know who this group is? You want to identify who they are, and you want to see what their true agenda is, or their true agenda are, because there's multiple organizations in this. Some would say, and I've heard this, excuse me, the Black Lives Matter movement have joined into the Palestinian movement. Antifa has joined into the Palestinian movement. Though I, myself, support the concept of Black Lives Matter, because Black lives do matter. But the movement, it has nothing to do with black people. They do not talk about family values in the African American community. They talk about destruction. They talk about taking down families. They talk about, it's okay, do whatever you want. You want to have abortions and kill black babies? Go ahead and do it. You have a right to do this. And you think for a slight second that as a Palestinian American, as a Muslim, I'm going to accept you in my movement? You think I'm going to let you tell my kids that it's okay to have abortions? You must be out of your damn mind. And we need more people that are good people, smart people, to come on and speak out against this abomination, distraction. It's a big distraction right now. Don't allow yourself or yourselves to be taken and be used as suckers, as fools, to push somebody else's agenda. When next time you go to a rally and you're with the Black Lives Matter protesters or Antifa protesters, ask them, who pays your bills? Who's paying your salary, sir? Because these protesters, they're paid. They're getting paid by somebody, by someone, or by some organization. Who's funding this? You got to ask. Follow the money. You know what? I've asked. You know what they say? Nothing. They keep their mouth shut. They don't talk. Because they know when I ask them, it's true that they're getting paid. And you know when the protest stops? When the payment stops. People stop coming out. When the master stop feeding their dogs the money. People have leashes around their necks and they're being pulled from right to left. And they're looking for more dogs to jump on this agenda. They're looking for dogs. Do you want to be one of those dogs? I'm not one of those dogs. You got to make a decision. Viva, viva Palestina, from the river to the sea. That's right. That's not anti-Semitic. Cut the nonsense if somebody says that. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Alhamdulillah, inshallah. This is what I believe, and that's what Palestinians believe. Don't distract from the agenda. If anyone, on the other hand, if anyone that's not Jewish start talking about how damn Jews, goddamn Jews, you're not on my team either. Because Palestinians do not, and the Muslims or Christians or Jews, we don't promote hatred. And this is not a Jewish issue. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. This is not about Judaism or Jewish people. This is about Israel stealing land from the Palestinians, killing Palestinian children, killing Palestinian fathers, mothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, uncles, aunts, killing generations, murdering them. Not killing them, murdering them. That's what this is about. At the hands of Israel. And guess what? The vast majority of the people murdering these Palestinians, they're Jewish. But they don't practice Judaism. Because the Torah does not teach you to kill children and kill babies in the name of God. Just like in Islam and the Quran does not teach the Muslims, don't kill babies, don't kill children, don't target civilians. It's the same thing. The same thing. I'm going to close this by saying, Viva, Viva Palestina. Don't be distracted. Stay focused. Ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions. Don't allow, just because somebody is speaking your tone, ask them questions. Where are you from? Ask them what they're about. Don't let the Palestinian movement be hijacked by criminals, by dogs sent by their masters to distract from this very strong movement that will one day, inshallah, God willing, succeed. Protect anyone that's being targeted for violence, whether they're Jewish, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Christian, whether they're atheists, whether they're Hindus, Buddhists, human beings that are being bullied, being targeted, protect them. Because that's what we're supposed to do. If you truly believe in God, as you say you do, stop talking about it and be about it. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. God bless everybody.